yogis, Jamie here from Dragonfly Yoga and Ayurveda, bringing you a Pitta Pacifying class today. So in Ayurveda, Pitta is one of the three doshas, and it is responsible for transformation in our body. So when we get up and go, do things, get work done, make those deadlines. So Pitta is responsible for that. A Pitta imbalance, however, is when there's a little bit too much, and that manifests as maybe agitation, short-temperedness, very heating that could develop into rashes or acne or heartburn. So it's fire within your body. The elements are fire and water. So instead of putting fuel on the fire and bringing a vigorous, energetic, fast-moving, fast-paced yoga practice, we are going to flip that and bring you a cooling, calming, but still heating in some ways practice today. So we want to balance that. So we don't want to create more heat by having a very fast-paced moving yoga practice. We want to balance that with a calming, grounding, cooling practice, but still giving you some of that energy, some of that heat. So thank you for joining me today. Props that we're going to use today are a bolster if you have one. If you don't, either a rolled up blanket or a pillow. I also have a blanket that I'm sitting on. So if you want to grab those things, if you don't have them, and meet me back on the mat and we'll get started. So we're going to start today on our backs, but reclining on that bolster or that rolled up blanket that you have. So I am sitting on a blanket that is right up against the bolster. The bolster is going to be about an inch or two away from the hips. I'm going to frame the bolster with my fingertips, take a big in-breath, and on the exhale, just slowly recline down onto the bolster. So we're in a bit of a heart opener here. So if you need something under the head or maybe under the spine, but on top of the bolster, then go ahead and place a blanket or anything there to be more comfortable. Legs nice and long if that feels okay on the low back. And bringing the arms wide, so away from the torso, palms facing up, but allowing for a little bit of a stretch here. So we're not actively reaching the fingertips away, but the arms are energized and heavy. So we're getting that stretch across the chest. And then find your breath in this shape. So you may find that you need to work a little bit harder to find that full deep breath. So take a few moments to find the breath that's comfortable for you in this moment, creating that ujjayi breath, so that audible exhale. Take your time. Let the legs, the hips, just completely sink and release into the mat, the earth below. The spine release into the bolster. Let the jaw be soft. The eyes rolling back down into the socket, so nice and gentle closing of the eyes. And let the space between the eyebrows relax as well. So as you inhale, filling up the lungs, so moving into the nostrils, down the throat, expanding the lungs. On the exhale, as the air leaves the body, about 5 5 more deep intentional breath cycles here. And we're going to gently roll over onto the right side. So bend the knees, place the feet on the floor. Rolling off of whatever prop you're on. So move nice and slowly and intentionally. You can remove the prop. Just kind of scoot it out of the way and then find yourself in that fetal position. So stacking the legs, left leg on top of right. We're going to extend the right arm long and place the left hand on top of the right. So reaching towards the right side of the room here. Inhale, keeping the legs stacked, keeping the hips stacked. Inhale, left arm is going to reach up towards the sky and over to the left. Let the left arm rest on the floor. If you need to draw the knees away from the torso, you can. And then on the exhale, left arm reaches up and back over to the right. So moving with your breath, inhale, open the arms wide, reach through the left fingertips, chest opens, and then exhale, left hand comes back. Take one more here, opening, and then we're gonna pause here for a moment. Take a few deep breath cycles, filling up that left lung, opening the left ribs. And then slowly bring the left arm all the way back over to the right. Perfect. And then we're going to come to center. So slowly rest both shoulder blades on the floor. Hug the knees in towards the chest. And then we're just going to go right to the other side. So the knees are going to come over to the left. And then the right hand stacks right on top of the left. So hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, and then inhale, right arm reaches up and over to the right. And then exhale, the hands close. So move with the pace of your breath. Inhale, completely to open. Maybe the gaze begins to follow the right hand, closing the hands on the exhale. This next time as we open, we're gonna pause. Gaze is gonna come with us over towards the right fingertips. Shoulder blades mount into the earth. And then close the hands one more time. Right hand reaches up and over to the left. Take one breath here. And then slowly roll back onto your back. Beautiful. Knees into the chest. I'm just going to remove the blanket from underneath my hips. So hug the knees in for just a moment. Rock from side to side if that feels good. And then place the left foot on the floor. Hug the right knee in for just a moment and then straighten that right leg. If you have a strap close by, you can use a strap here. If you can wrap peace fingers around the big right toe, go for it. Otherwise, you can hold on to that right leg anywhere that's comfortable. We're going to drop the right hip so it's square with the left. Drop the shoulders. Beautiful. Take one more breath here, beginning to open and stretch the hamstring in the right leg. And then we're just going to open the right leg, maybe a third of the way open. So the left hand is going to come to the left hip as an anchor. And then just come a third of the way to the right here. So you're in between that space of strength and flexibility. So we're not opening completely, even though you may be able to get the right foot to the floor. And just breathe here. Flex the foot, so press through the right heel. That's going to give you more of a sensation somewhere in the leg. I feel it in the calf. Take another breath. And then slowly come back to center. Left peace fingers are going to grab the big right toe or calf, thigh, wherever that is. Right arm's going to come out to the right. Take an inhale, and then same thing. Exhale over to the left a third of the way. So you're going to feel it in the outer right hip. A third of the way here, and breathe. And then play with that foot placement. So press through the right heel or let the toes come closer to the face here. And breathe into that sensation. Where is it in your body? Can you relax the hips a little bit more? And then inhale, come back to center. Bend the right knee. Extend the right leg long. Extend the left leg long. Just notice for a moment the difference between the right and the left leg. And breathe. And this may be a challenge for some of you. When Pitta is high, you want to move. You want to continue flaming that fire, but we're just going to slow it down here. Right foot's going to come to the floor, left knee comes in. Hug it in for just a breath. And then begin to straighten the left leg. So first, opening up the back of the leg, the hamstring. Drop the left hip so it's square with the right. And find out where a comfortable place is for the hands to rest. Again, if you can grab that big toe with the left peace fingers, perfect. If you want to strap, perfect. Otherwise, just reaching for anywhere on the leg, which is also perfect. Right hand comes to the right hip. Shoulder blades are melting into the earth. Take an in breath and then open the left leg out to the left a third of the way. So that place again between strength and flexibility. And your mind may be telling you, go a little further, go a little further. But just turning that voice off for a moment and just staying here. Flex through the left heel. And breathe. Inhale, come back to center. We're going to switch the hands. So wherever that right hand's going to reach. Left arm comes out to the left, just kind of as a base here. Take an inhale and then exhale. Left leg comes over to the right a third of the way. Breathing, noticing. Extend through that left heel. You should be feeling something. And then inhale, come back to center. Bend the left knee. Hug both knees into the chest. Make any movement that feels good. Perfect. And then just roll over onto your right side in the fetal position just for maybe 2 moments. And then use your hands to press yourself up into a seated position here. So crossing the legs if that's comfortable, coming into a half lotus or a full lotus if that's comfortable for you. Beautiful. And then we're just going to bring the hands to prayer, but we're going to rub, make some friction. So rub the hands together, close the eyes, and then place the hands over the eyes. So they don't have to be touching the face. Feel the warmth, the energy. Feel the eyes draw back into the sockets. And then release the hands down alongside the body. Open the eyes if you choose, otherwise you can keep them closed. Sweep the arms high on the in-breath. On the exhale, over to the right side, right hand finds the floor and just begin to reach through the left fingertips. Bend the left elbow and place the left hand over towards the right ear. So behind the head, breathing into the left side. And then on your next exhale, let the torso drape over the right thigh. So let the left hand come to the outside of the right knee. Take an in-breath as you begin to twist, and then exhale, melt. And then the left arm is going to sweep and circle all the way up and then over to the left as the right arm follows. So now arching over to the left, bend the right elbow, place the right hand behind the head or towards the left ear. Draw the right shoulder blade towards the left, sink the right hip, and breathe here into the right side. And then finding that fold. So as we bring the torso parallel with the thigh, right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. Take an inhale as you twist, and then exhale, fold. Beautiful. Circle the right arm all the way up as you come to rise. Reach both arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, the hands come down. Perfect. Bringing yourself into a child's pose. Perfect. So the knees are going to be as wide as the mat, if that's comfortable. Big toes to touch. And first, instead of just kind of bringing yourself down, sit down onto the heels for a moment. Let the hips get heavy into the heels. And then bring the fingertips forward and take your time. So make this the slowest transition into a child's pose. So keeping the heaviness in the hips, the tailbone drawing towards the heels. Maybe even come onto your forearms for a moment. Notice the expansion of the upper back as you do, and then continue walking the hands forward for a moment. Let the forehead melt towards the earth. You can rock the forehead from side to side, so massaging that connection between the third eye and the mat. And then tense onto the fingertips, lift the forearms, and we're just going to slide the left arm underneath the right as you reach the left fingertips towards the right side of the room. Bend the right elbow and place the forehead on the right hand. And as you draw the left shoulder towards the left, the right hand and elbow draws over towards the right. So you're getting a deeper stretch in the outside of the left shoulder. And then release, extend both arms forward. Take a breath here. And then tense onto the fingertips once again. This time slide right arm underneath the left. And then bend the left elbow. Place the forehead on the left hand. And then as you begin to draw the right shoulder over to the left, draw the left hand and elbow towards, the right shoulder out towards the right. Left hand and left shoulder to the left. And then on your exhale, release. Beautiful. Take one more breath here. Reach fingertips forward. And then inhale, coming up into a tabletop. Bringing the knees underneath the hips. Take a few moments here. Planting hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're going to take a few barrel rolls here. So the belly is going to come down towards the floor and then roll over towards the left ribs. Round the spine and then over towards the right. So it may take a moment to kind of get this feeling of circling the stomach here. We're getting into the digestive system, the intestines, that's where that fire resides. And then go in the opposite direction. Perfect. Beautiful. So come back to stillness, take a breath, and then find just a few cat-cows, balancing the spine. Inhale, open the heart, lift the tail. Exhale, tuck the tail around the spine, let the head release between the arms. So take a few cycles here. Perfect. And then bring the heels to touch, the big toes to touch, as if you were going to come into a child's pose, but curl the toes under here. Walk the hands back, lift the knees. So a child's pose variation, but the knees are lifted. And then come down onto the forearms, maybe flip the palms, let the forehead, the crown of the head mount towards the earth, and sink the hips back towards the heels. Flip the palms here. Go ahead and walk the hands underneath the shoulders, and we're going to lift the hips, straighten the legs, find a forward fold. This may be your first forward fold of the day, so maybe you keep a little bend in the knees, which is perfect. Let the head release down. And instead of taking a ragdoll, keep the connection with the hands and the earth here. So nurturing, grounding effect that we're giving the body right now. Let the head release. Shake yes, shake no. And forward folds are very cooling and relaxing to the nervous system. So we're going to take a few moments here. And again, your mind may be telling you that you need to be doing something right now. Just again, turning that off. You are doing something right now. Perfect. And then fingertips to the mat or shins. Find a halfway lift here. So nice, strong belly. Bring the big toes to touch. And keeping the fingertips on the floor or blocks if you have them. We're going to bend the knees and sit into a chair, but our fingertips are not going to leave the earth. So draw the legs together, belly button to spine, reach the crown of the head forward. Maybe sink the hips a little bit lower, but bring equal weight into the balls of the feet and the heels. One more full breath. And then slowly begin to straighten the legs. Let the head release. Heel toe the feet out to hip distance apart. And slowly walk forward into a downward facing dog. When you get there, if it feels good to pedal things out, then go ahead and bend one knee at a time. Maybe come onto the toes and then let the heels be heavy. And then inhale, roll forward into your plank. Perfect. And we're just going to hold this plank. You may be thinking you want to throw in a chaturanga or lowering all the way down. But instead, build the fire, build the heat here. So breathing, hug belly button to spine. And if you notice that your hips are dropping, then come down onto the knees so you can maintain that flat back. So anywhere you are, breathe here. And then slowly lift the hips high. Walk the hands back towards the feet and find that fold once again. Keeping fingertips on the earth or your blocks, bring the feet together once again. We're going to bend the knees, sink the hips here. Maybe this time you sink the hips a little bit lower. Keeping that connection with the earth. Collarbone reaching forward. Exhale, fold over the legs as they straighten. Walk the hands slowly forward. Find that plank once again. And then come on to the tippy toes as you shift forward. Take an in-breath. Exhale, lowering all the way down. Maybe the knees come down first, maybe not. Come on to the tops of the feet. Hug the elbows in. We're going to inhale, lift into our cobra. Peel the chest. Exhale, release it down. Downward facing dog. Slowly walk the feet towards the front of the mat. Find a forward fold there. And then interlace the hands behind the head. Keep a little bend in the knees. Let the weight of the hands draw the head down towards the earth. And then roll yourself up maybe halfway. Round the spine so you're getting a stretch in the thoracic spine here. And then come all the way up. Head is the last thing that comes up. Open the elbows and then release the arms down. Beautiful. Reconnect with your breath here. And then inhale the arms high, bring the palms to touch, and exhale, fold yourself forward. Fingertips find the earth. Halfway lift on the in-breath. On the exhale, step the right foot back. Let the right knee lower so you're in a low lunge here. And then reach the fingertips forward and up. Take an inhale here. Then on the exhale, circle the arms back and down. Inhale, fingertips to earth. Exhale, straighten the left leg. Maybe the toes come off of the mat and they reach up to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend back into the left knee. Come off of the right knee. Left foot to meet right, downward facing dog. And connect. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, knee comes in towards the chest as you gently place the right foot in between the hands. Left knee lowers. Come onto the top of the left foot. Fingertips reach forward and up. Take one full breath here. And then on your exhale, hands circle down. Come off of the left knee. Right foot comes back to meet left plank. Beautiful. Pause here. Downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg reaches. Exhale, knee to chest. Place the right foot in between the hands. Left knee lowers. Inhale, fingertips forward and up. Exhale, circle the hands back down. Reach the heart forward, fingertips to earth. Exhale, straighten the right leg. This time, right toes maybe reach up to the sky. Take an in breath. Exhale, mount. Inhale, bend back into the right knee. Right foot to meet left. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, knee to chest. Place the left foot down. Right knee lowers. Inhale, fingertips forward and up. Exhale, circle it back. Come off of the right knee. Right foot forward to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. And then on the in-breath, slowly roll yourself up to standing, stacking one vertebrae at a time, taking your time. Inhale, the arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, fold yourself back through. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. This time, left foot steps to the back of the mat. Beautiful. So take a moment here. Press through that left heel. Reach the crown of the head forward. The collarbone, the heart forward. Keep the left hand underneath the left shoulder. Right arm reaches forward, so we're going to come into a twist, up and then back. Perfect. Beautiful. And then we're going to begin to sink the left hip down. And as we sink the left hip down, heel toe that right foot to the center of the mat. Beautiful. Inhale, the right arm reaches up and overhead as you lift the hips. Long in the right side. Exhale, dip the left hip and reach the right arm back towards the left foot. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Exhale. Inhale, come back up. Right arm is going to come to the mat. Come onto the left toes. Right foot back to meet left, plank position. Beautiful. Breathing. And then come down to the knees. Take a few cat-cows, rebalancing the spine here. Beautiful. And then downward facing dog. Left leg is going to sweep high on the in-breath. And the exhale, the left foot's going to come between the hands. So we're in that lunge. Perfect. And then bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. Walk the hands towards the center of the mat. So parallel the feet here. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let the crown of the head release down. Inhale, come halfway. And then exhale, walk the hands towards the right foot, which is the back of the mat. Perfect. Plant the hands, right foot to meet left. Downward facing dog. Roll forward into your plank. Beautiful. Come on to the toes, shift forward, inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. Come on to the tops of the feet. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down. Bring the hands a little bit wider, maybe to the edge of the mat, maybe a little bit off. And then inhale, lifting up. So you're pressing actually into the palms now. And then just sway from side to side. So press deeply into the right palm as you sway to the left. Press into the left palm as you sway to the right. Lower body is nice and heavy on the mat. 1 more breath. Come back to center. Downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. Exhale, left foot to the front of the mat. Beautiful. So we're in that lunge. So press through the right heel. Heart is reaching forward. Right hand stays as it is underneath the shoulder. And then left fingertips go forward, up, and back. So find that moment in this twist here. You're still reaching through the right heel. Breath is full, complete. Perfect. And then begin to come over towards the right hip as you heel toe that left foot to the center of the mat. So you're in a modified side plank here. Inhale, lift the hips. Reach the fingertips of the left arm overhead. Exhale, sink the right hip. Left arm reaches back. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last time. Exhale. Lift the hips high. Left hand comes to the mat. Plank position, left toes come back. Beautiful. Knees to the mat. Take a few moments of cat-cow, rebalancing the spine. And then find a child's pose when you're ready. Any variation here. So elbows can be bent. You can flip the palms. And then if the palms are flipped to the sky, go ahead and plant them on the mat. Come to rise as you walk the hands closer to the body. And we're gonna come to sit. So extend the left leg long. Sole the right foot to the inner left thigh. So torso is going to come parallel with the left leg. We're gonna cross, if you can reach the toes, reach the foot, cross the wrists. And on the exhale, fold forward and reach for the foot with the crossed arms, the crossed wrist. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows as you lower. Otherwise, just reaching anywhere on the leg, but not bringing pressure or putting pressure on the knee. Breathing into the upper back. Slowly come to rise. And then switching legs. Right leg long, left knee is bent. Find a long spine. Take an in-breath. On the exhale, reach down for that right foot, ankle, shin, calf, wherever that is. And then exhale, fold. Bending at the elbows. Slowly come to rise as you release. Beautiful. So we're going to scoot to the center of the mat, so making sure you have space behind you. And just slowly lower down. Knees can come in towards the chest. We're going to cross right knee on top of left. Hug the legs in towards the chest. Give it a nice squeeze. And then bring the arms open wide. Take an inhale, exhale, drop the leg package over to the left. And maybe gazing over towards the right fingertips. Inhale, slowly come back to center. When you get there, switching the placement of the leg. So left knee on top of right. Hugging it in, squeezing it tight. And then arms come out wide. Inhale as you are. Exhale, legs fall over to the right. Gazing over to the left fingertips. Inhale, slowly come back to center. Perfect. Uncrossing the legs, bring the soles of the feet together. Reach down for the feet. Let the knees open wide. And then release into your Shavasana. So let the legs go long. Arms opening out to the side any amount, or placing one hand on heart, one hand on belly. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. One more just like that. In breath. And let your breath begin to flow naturally. Let the energy begin to settle in the body. Let the bones be heavy as you release into the mat, the earth. And begin to deepen the inhale and lengthen the exhale. And then begin to bring movement into the smaller joints, the fingers, the toes. And then when you're ready, the larger joints. Roll over onto your right side, back in the fetal position for just a few moments. And then use your hands to press yourself up into a comfortable seated position. So bringing the palms to touch one more time, begin to create that friction, that heat by rubbing the palms together. Close the eyes. And then place the hands over the eyes. Keeping the eyes closed, bring the hands to the heart. Honoring that light within yourself. The love and light in me honors the love and light in you. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Thank you. Have a beautiful